What's going on, everyone? This is Mike with Just Another G.I. Joe show, also known as Angry Mike. But, anyways, we're starting early. There is a severe weather in my area, and I want to try to get the show going and done in case it gets bad enough to where I lose power or something. At least get the show started, and hopefully, we don't lose power. Knock on wood. But, anyways, I am joined by Ed, how do you pronounce it? Is it Schumacher? Is that correct?
Yep, yep,
Okay,
you are
Ed
correct.
Schumacher, great. Um, hopefully, Fred or Rick shows up. They're both going to come on, so we'll see what happens. But if not, it'll just be me. Ed is the founder, owner, promoter, the head honcho over there at Joefest in Augusta, Georgia. Um, and I know some of the questions I have to. One of the first questions I have to ask is why did you start this? Did you start it because of JoeCon leaving, or did you start it because you wanted to do something for yourself in the community, or how to get started?
It's probably a little bit of both, Mike. Joe Con going away was just a better excuse to move it to the summertime. We did a show last year. It was quite smaller, but it was really well attended. It got me thinking, if Joe Con does go away, because we weren't really sure at that point last year, and was it April, May last year?
All
I
right,
guess it was pretty well confirmed, but you weren't sure. You thought, well, maybe they'll sign another 1 year deal or something, and no, it just worked out. As I've told the other guys, it's been opportunities after opportunity, and you just seize the moment.
right. I understand that. Hold on, Rick is messaging me now. Rick's gonna jump on here in a few minutes. Um, so, I mean, me myself, I know how hard it is to be a promoter and to start. Now, am I understanding correctly that in Augusta, are you the only one that does shows in Augusta, or is there other shows in the Augusta area?
There's none in Augusta. That was part of the motivation to go in the summer. Besides JoeCon going away, the next biggest show is Toylanta, which is, it's been traditionally home in March every year. And last year we did it. I believe it was April. I believe it was late April last year, and went really well. Sales were incredible. But we didn't want to take away from the other show being so close. We didn't want to, Toylanta just being basically 5, 6 weeks before us. So with JoeCon going away, we kind of thought there could be a void during the summer, um, with predominantly GI Joe as a theme.
Hmm.
Uh, so yeah, it just seemed to work that way. It just took off. It's almost kind of hard to say that, but it really wasn't pre-planned like this. It was
Right.
hey, let's move the JoeCon date, and then we had a guest contact us, and another one, and another one. The next thing you know, it was like, oh wow, this thing's getting a little big.
Right.
So
Now, last year, I remember seeing some pictures. If I'm correct, you had people outside in the lobby set up, and it looked like maybe some people outside in the weather set up
well,
as well.
what happened was is we booked like the biggest ballroom this hotel had, and it really wasn't that big. It wasn't. But again, with Augusta not having a show in 25 years, we gave it a try. Well, that day I showed up. It was probably like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and we opened at, I think it was 9 o'clock, and they were lined up from the registration table out of the front entrance of the hotel to the left and down into the highway, waiting to get in.
Really?
And it was like, oh, no, you know what I mean? It's your first show. You don't know. You don't know what to expect, but you don't expect that. Let's put it that way, So called my wife. She came right over. We set up. Um, it got to the point where there were so many people inside this little ballroom that the vendors actually picked up and went outside, set up tents, and it was all around the hotel. It was like an L shape around the hotel.
Wow. Now that was what was the name of that hotel y'all were at that year?
That was a Hilton Garden Inn.
Hilton Garden Inn. Now you're going to be at the DoubleTree.
Yes.
Now, do they have, I guess I'm assuming, a bigger ballroom?
Oh yeah, yeah. This ballroom's probably 4 times as big as what the other one was. Plus, we've rented every room that they have offsetting the ballroom. Plus, we have the main foyer, which we're going to set up vendors at. So nothing outside this year, which is,
Wow.
next week here in Augusta is going to be 101. So
Really? Already?
yeah, next Sunday, same 101.
Jeez Louise, that's insane.
Yeah.
It was 80 something earlier today, and this cold front with the rain came through. When we got back home a few minutes ago, it was down to 65 outside already.
Oh, I'd
So
kill
it's,
for
yeah, 65 and cold water. Yeah, it felt great out there for a minute, few seconds actually. So now,
Yeah.
when you did the show last year, I can't remember, were there any exclusives?
We did a paratrooper, a Red Shadows paratrooper.
That's right. I remember now. I remember them. Okay, go ahead. I remember the other ones now. The other
Uh,
ones were Billy.
Billy. Yeah.
Now that one was a very, very, very hot commodity right there.
That thing on the, I mean, I still, if you look it up on eBay now, I seen one that's recently sold for 500.
Jeez, hold on. I saw I was fixing to do, and I had to come back and look for a second because you froze up for a second.
Okay.
No, you're good. You're good. Let's see here, Joe Fest. That was 2018.
Yeah.
Let's see what's up there right now.
I'm pretty sure it was about 500.
There are. Let's see.
The paratrooper
Was
was,
that the carded? Which one was going for 500? Was it the carded one?
yeah, it was a carded one, and it was the white version, the
Okay.
uniform.
Okay. The ones that are listed right now
Uh-huh.
for sale, there's two of them. They're both in the brown with the Billy head, not the. I guess there was an interchangeable head on it, right?
I don't think so.
Okay. I thought there was a head where it had the mask, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Okay. This one here with Scar, rare. I don't know. Unless someone
I think,
customized it to have a Scar.
yeah. There
Okay, that
really
one.
wasn't many made.
Okay, here's one that's just brown with the
Mhm.
Billy head. No Scar. There's one with a Scar, but I think that's customized on for some reason. Someone did that on their own. This one here, they're just asking $35 for it, and I would have to find previously sold. That's the brown one, though. That's not the
Yeah.
white one you're
I
talking about.
didn't even get the white one.
Yeah, I think I heard you telling me that you didn't even get one, and
No.
like the wait list was like insanely crazy.
Does the Zartan, that was done by Dacre Bush.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about now.
Oh yeah, the name is out of my mind.
Let's see. The last one in the white sold back on March the 4th.
Uh-huh.
It was carded. It went for they had it at $400 or best offer, and they took a best offer.
Okay.
So I mean, you got to think somewhere along the lines of money. Okay, this did not. Okay, it didn't have an interchangeable head. Then it didn't have one.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't get one, so I
Yeah,
couldn't
neither
tell.
one will have an interchangeable head. So I guess I was dreaming that somewhere.
Yeah.
But that's
I
kind of
get the
crazy, to for something like that to go crazy like that.
well again the oh, help me out here, Mike. What was the name of the Zartan with the guitar? Um
Oh, don't give me a line. That's the one that looks like a rock and roll star.
yeah, we did 20 of those. Dacre did 20 of them. We sold them. They sold out in less than, I want to tell you, 2 minutes. And that's the same thing. I didn't get one of them either.
Right.
So,
And
yeah.
so when these exclusives went like they did, was there like mad chaos, people running, or was it pretty civilized, or what, or do you know?
We had one of our people go down the line as it was lined up, and we did gave them numbers, and they
Good.
went to the table in line. We did a limit of one per person to be fair. Um,
That's good.
yeah, and
I
just,
agree with that totally.
once we've we had like a cutoff time that if it was like we opened at 10, you've got till noon, and whatever's left at noon, then you can come back and buy whatever you want.
Free for all.
Yeah, yeah. So
I
that's
understand.
what we aim to do again this year.
It's kind of like Roman Collectibles did the we call it the piss tank at JoeCon this past year for to go with the theme set, which came with no vehicles whatsoever.
Mhm.
But I think he had what it was like 6, 8, or 12 of them. I can't remember how many it was. It was a very, 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 very low number of
Mhm.
them. And I remember, I think I had like number 2 or whatever, but they came down and gave a number for that, which I thought was really good because they weren't wanting to see people run through there.
Okay.
I think some of it had to do, of course, with the parachute drop fiasco as well.
That thing is I still answer questions about that in when I post for the show. People ask, are you going to advocate hurting kids? And it's like, wow, it wasn't even us. So, hey, Rick.
Hey there. Sorry I'm late. I didn't know
That's
you guys
fine.
were going early, but
Can you hear me, Rick?
Yep.
Okay, good. I just know you have hearing issues when sometimes on the podcast.
Yeah, when there's like 6 or 7 people, I start to have some audio issues. But
yeah, no, I've got bad storms here, and so I want to get the show in case we lose power because
I hear you.
there was like tornadoes in this storm and all kinds of crap. So
yeah,
still want to get it going. We're talking about Joefest. I know me and Rick were both going, but I think Rick, there might have been a possibility you weren't going if you got nominated for something, and you got nominated for it, didn't you?
Yeah, but right now I'm still. So I got my first Emmy nomination, and my wife is definitely. She wants me to go to the ceremony just in case we win. But I mean, we've got tickets to Joefest. I've had them for almost a year, so we're still set to go.
I appreciate
And
it.
when is the Emmy Award thing yours?
It's that Saturday. It's the 22nd of June, I think. It's whatever that Saturday is.
Oh,
It's the good stuff. It's the good stuff day at Joefest, the real good stuff. And I don't want to miss Friday and Saturday. So, I'm going to try to get there Thursday. Is my plan.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. That's what I thought we talked about on our group chats. I didn't know.
Yeah. So still make it.
All right. No, Ed was telling us we were talking about last year's Joefest, and we're going to talk, and we were talking about the exclusives, which there was only 2. Is that right, Ed, from last year?
Well, it was the Tommy, it was the parachute, and the Zartan.
So it's 3.
3, yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to.
Then we had some vehicles, but there was only like a quantity of 2 to 3 of those. So I can't remember what they were either. I didn't get them, Mike. So
you didn't get anything of your own damn show, man.
All I got is the paratrooper. That's all I got. I got the paratrooper.
All right, you seeing this lady boxer?
Yep.
Okay, you see it, Rick?
Yeah.
Okay, now these are the pictures you sent me. This is a custom or a custom exclusive for Joefest this year?
Yeah, it's actually modeled after Matilda Kane cosplay. She created a costume to look just like that figure, and each year we try to support a cosplayer by making a figure of them to sell at the show, and have them autograph it.
This will be this year's here, this one?
Yes.
That's pretty cool. And since you are modeling this after a cosplayer, how many of these do you think you'll have? Or do you know?
We did a handful of those, that's the lowest quantity.
Is this one?
Yeah. Yeah.
And do you have price points on any of these by some chance, or do you not know?
I think we're going to do all the carded at 65.
Okay.
Just everybody to try to be unison across the board.
Right.
The Sergeant Slaughters, they're having some trouble trying to get some packaging done, but if they did, it would be 65. Loose, they were going to do bagged with the file card and art for 39.
Okay. All right. So this one here is based off a cosplayer that'll be at the show, and we can get that autographed. And those will be sold at Pacific booth, or how's that work?
We're going to sell it all at. We have an exclusive table.
They'll have all the exclusives.
Yes, except for Roma. Roma will have his own.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This one here is the Tommy. This one is who's doing this one?
We are.
Okay, y'all. Okay.
Scorch Earth created it. Level 7 casted it. Anthony Montarella did the card. Jason Mark Sobel did the artwork. So it's really a collaboration, a bunch of people coming together.
What's the number on this one? How many of these are you guys going to have there?
Those are, let's see, 50. We have 50 of those, 50 of the modern, 50 of the O-ring. So it was 100 total.
Wow. So you'll have modern and O-ring of this one.
Yeah.
And this is the modern one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool. Yep. I saw that one on Instagram and I immediately was like, man, I want that one,
Yeah.
You better get Mrs. Rick in line early.
I don't know how. There's a lot of exclusives. I've seen a lot on Instagram.
I know.
Yeah, I think we're about done announcing. People have been on me about, they got to see it. They got to see it. And I was trying to wait as long as I could to, keep the interest building.
Right.
But, it's a bunch of guys coming together, so it's not like we're a toy company or not. So
exactly. Now this one is Roma, one of his 2 or 3 exclusives I think he has.
Yeah.
And you said this one here will be at his booth.
It is, and that's going to be hard to get. So
very limited.
Oh yeah.
Like 6,
10.
10. Well, better than I thought. Rick, how many was that one we got from him?
I think it was 10. I want to say it was 10.
Okay, was it 10? I wasn't for sure.
I think so. I saw this one too. Man, this one speaks to me too. Pretty much if it's Tommy or Billy, it speaks to me.
Yeah, me too. And we did the Tommy because of Keone Young coming.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and of course, the other guy's doing Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter is the most produced one. They have 200 of them.
Okay.
That's cool. That's good for you, Mike. Keep your target force going.
Now, on Roma, do you know, even that we know what he did at JoeCon as far as the tickets himself, do you plan on asking him to do that for this one as well, you think? Or is he planning on doing it himself?
I think he's planning on doing it, but I haven't really discussed it with him yet. But he usually has things under control, so, And
another thing, this is just a kind of a safe thing to say, or and I've seen this happen before going to fun pub shows, is that no vendor inside the room will be allowed to buy anything prior to the guests getting in, correct?
Okay. Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll get up there. We made that mistake last year with Zartan, and they bought half the supply before we even
open the door.
Yeah. And you learn from your mistakes, but when you're first starting out, you think, oh man, I just hope this thing sells.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Roma's definitely. I didn't even know about it until this past week about the couple of figures that they've posted.
Oh, really?
That thing there, that's my favorite. I'm gonna be running over you, Rick, for that one. That one's
yeah. I'm probably gonna have to pick and choose my battles. Yeah, I saw that one. That one does look good.
I think he said 20 to 25 of those. I believe is the quantity on that.
But the Billy is going to be the hard one.
Yeah, the Billy's gonna be the hard one, and the
boxer.
boa.
What's the?
Yeah.
Is there a name for that one? What do you call it? What's the female? Is there a name for the female boa? Or is it just boa?
Yeah, we probably go boa.
Yeah.
You know, we have to. We definitely want to respect what's been done before us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Sure.
We're just trying to keep the dream alive a little bit. That's all.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
Until they come back.
Right.
Hopefully it's soon.
Now this is the other one I remember seeing when they announced this one.
Yeah.
That went over real well. I honestly don't know the quantity on that one. But that just came out so well to me and it works.
Mm-hmm.
It just works, you know. And I'm a big Red Shadow fan anyway, so
Yeah.
Right.
I think a lot of the people that go to like a JoeCon or Joefest, and I think a lot of people like the deep cuts. Like I still think this is a deep cut, but there's a lot more GI Joe fans than I think the internet knows about. And when you go to the convention, you really see how deep so many of the community go. I mean, a lot of people like I believe they think, well, Snake Eyes and Duke and Cobra Commander, that's the end of it. But man, people go real deep on this Red Shadow stuff. I mean,
well, it's something different, you know. I mean, we all know about Cobra. I mean, it's almost like Cobra has backed itself into a corner though, because we know all about Cobra. You know, Red Shadows, we don't know much about.
Yeah, it's still mysterious.
Yeah. So you can build upon that.
Yeah, that's a good looking exclusive for sure.
Yeah.
There's some sticker sheets, I guess, that go with that one of his.
No, that goes with the Marauders, red exosuit skeleton.
Okay, that's our next picture. We'll go look at that first. This one here.
Yes.
Okay. You
Now,
seen this one, Rick?
Yes, I've seen that. I've been keeping up with this stuff pretty hardcore. I think I've seen all of them. It's scary because when I think about like standing in line and stuff, that stuff doesn't appeal to me. But then I see the exclusives and I'm like somewhere in the middle. I'm like, which one is it going to be? It probably won't be more than one or two, but I'm going to try to at least get one. I just got to figure out what battle I'm picking. Fred got me into the Marauders. I'm not in as deep as a lot of people, but he got me in the door, and so I blame him for that.
I think the Marauders like that right there. The red suit there, it could be made to Cobra, it could be made to Red Shadows. It's got flexibility, or you can create your own theme.
Yeah.
And,
Tiger Force.
I like to think that Wild Weasel just went out on his own. Now he's a mech for hire.
So this will be the sticker sheet that you get with it, or you get to pick one, or
I think it's available for purchase.
Okay.
But
We'll
it's
say that.
It's first time it's released is what it is.
Okay.
And it's got battle damage stickers and whatnot, so it's gonna be you can really customize yours
The way you want it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we got the Tiger Force Slaughter.
Now the interesting thing about that is, as soon as we had posted that, it wasn't, I would say 10 minutes later, I got a call from the agent. Sarge saw it, wants to know what it is. And I thought, uh-oh, man, we're in trouble. And he goes, no. He goes, we need 7 of those. So, yeah. So I guess I can't tell him no.
No, can't tell him no.
So, yeah, no. So like 193 left on that then.
I'll fix to say, you get 200, so there's only 193 left.
Yeah. So, I think that'll go over real well.
Yeah.
And these are as of right now, bagged unless they get the card art done in time.
Yeah, they're scrambling. Brian Cousins doing those. Him and Scorch Earth, they've got the artwork done. They're just trying to find somebody. The guy that stunned mine, he's worked into the last minute. And it's just he doesn't have any more time. So I guess we ran a little bit short on packaging on this one, but I still think it'll go pretty fast.
Right. Yeah. Right. I could see that heading going pretty fast. Maybe lasting a little bit since there's 200 of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what was the? Never mind. We were talking about that. Now this one, is this Tommy again?
Yes, that's Tommy.
Okay, this is Tommy out of the package.
Yeah.
And this is the modern one. No, this is the vintage O-ring.
Yeah. We
Now
just had
this-
to jump on the opportunity because of Keone. We thought, I mean, how often you could have Storm Shadow's voice and
Right.
Tommy together like that. So now that one, that I'm not the biggest Snake Eyes person on the planet, but that was a figure that probably could have been done, and I think that's just perfect to me.
How many of
What do
those
you
are there?
think? I'm thinking 100.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All loosely got cardy ones as well.
It's going to be a little bit of both.
Okay, about 50-50.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I saw this one. Is this actually happening? A 12-inch Tiger Woods?
12-inch, yes. Well, it's not Tiger Woods.
Looks like Tiger Woods.
There's a couple of golfers that could have some weapons and golf clubs, and it is Augusta. So your adventure team will definitely be well-rounded.
Have some golfers.
The red jersey or the red shirt one is definitely the limited one. The other one is a little bit more plentiful, but I still think the production's under 15 total. So the red one, I believe, might be under 10.
Did you have quite a few 12-inch collectors set up last year or show up till they were looking for 12-inch product?
I had messages for it. And we had a couple of collectors show up because, Toy Atlanta being so close, a lot of those guys are around this area.
Right.
And we did a figure actually last year. Matter of fact, we did. We did a 12-inch Joe Colton figure. Do you remember that one, Mike?
Yeah, I remember that one now.
Yeah, she was in a bikini.
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah, I had the bikini sewn on Etsy in Russia and mailed to us because believe it or not, Barbie never had a black bikini.
Huh.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. So no, there was only 3 Joe Coltons.
Wow.
I don't think I got one of them either.
I don't think you got anything but a headache.
No, I got the paratrooper and that's it. So
all right, this one here, after looking at these pictures you sent, I didn't realize how good this looking one was. This one here I'm actually really interested in.
that one there is a lot of the parts have been casted and molded in the colors, so the paint won't rub off.
That's awesome.
We went as far as we could go. We are scrambling. We're trying to get it boxed.
Whoa.
So
what's the numbers on that one?
Either 10 or 20. I can't remember. I think it's 10. I think it's 10 on that one. So
I'm assuming they're standing in line right now to get
there's
that one.
guys that would buy this before they even hit the show.
Yeah, it looks really good. And if you get a box together for that, man, that one.
Yeah, that's our goal is to try to do that, and that leads me to 2020. But I won't divulge that just yet. So.
Oh, okay. All right, let's go. The Red Fox, I think we're getting close. This is the bio card for that one.
Yep. Yeah, the parts were molded in by Scotty Williams at Destro for Life Industries, as he calls it. He did a really good job on it. He did the color as close as he could. Parts came out perfect. He did it for all, well, for the two of them. So again, like I said, it won't rub off. You know, the missiles is, if you were to paint those and pull them out of there, it would just fall apart. So
You said two of them. Is there only two of these?
no, there's
Oh,
that one. That one wasn't actually. He might have done the missiles on that one too. I'm thinking a different color. That's what it is, gold. He did do the missiles on those also.
okay.
So, and Scotty did the missiles for that one also. Those were casted.
Now, Short Bus Customs worked on this one, didn't he?
Yeah, and they worked really hard on that one. That one was not easy.
Now, I think when we talked to him a few weeks ago, I think he had 10 of these they were doing. Does
I
that sound
believe
right?
I believe it's 20.
Oh, it was a 20. Okay, then they've changed it since we talked to him then.
Yeah, I know these guys they're trying to keep up with the demand and try to pump them out. But see, the problem is that you're painting, vintage,
Right.
and the stuff's too expensive nowadays to, and then there's your little party that doesn't want to do it to a vintage vehicle either. So, which leads me to 2020, which it's coming. So we'll see. We'll see how well we do this year,
Yeah, one step at a time.
Yeah, yeah. But there's a different. I want to bring a creativity to it and give us something that we've never done. So
That's awesome.
Now, here's this one in actual form.
yeah, I actually have that sitting here. I've got one of them. He made the first one for me, and I was really like, wow, that's so cool. I get to keep one.
It
But
looked really good. I actually like that one.
Yeah.
yeah, it just it works. It fits the colors and.
It would go perfect with my Tiger Force set.
I believe we have 15 to 20 of those. So, and I think we're working on boxes for that also. It's just a matter of these guys can finish in time.
This one here would probably be one of the ones I would drop an elbow on somebody for. Now, this is the Howler.
Yep. Yeah, they revealed those at CoilCon last year.
Yep, I remember that because Short Bus Customs was up there for that one.
Yeah, he lives right near there, and they gave us a table, and we're swapped out with them. They're coming. CoilCon's coming down here to us this year.
Okay, that's good.
I'm hoping that they.
Are they going to have their extra figures to sell?
Man, I don't know what's going on with that. I know that the overseas is really behind for a lot of people.
Yeah, they haven't gotten their exclusives for their show they had last year.
Yeah. I was reluctant to do business with overseas. I didn't want to go that route and not be prepared.
Oh, I hear you.
There's a lot of risk involved.
Yeah.
Now, what exactly is this? Is this going to be something there for sale, or what's going on with this?
That is a raffle. That's a 1 of 1.
Fudge.
And that is going to be done by Jimmy Johnson of Cyber Crow Customs. Last year he did a raffle also, and I can't remember what it was. Wow, Lee. Yeah, it was a whirlwind last year. But everybody, you get I believe it was $1 or $2 raffle ticket. You can put in as much as you want, and it wound up a kid won it here in Augusta.
Oh, that's crazy! That's awesome.
Yeah, and it was the only ticket he threw in the pot, and he got it. And
oh my god! Yeah,
my kid would go crazy over that.
It's kind of like Pete's RoboCon a couple of years ago.
Yep.
One of the guys that were hanging out with us, he dropped like literally $400 on tickets, and he ended up winning it. It was like the concept of what the next BotCon set was going to be, and they had customized all the figures for it and everything. Did really good work. Pete and all them guys that do the customizing classes that did it for Fun Pub, and it turned out really well. So yeah, that's one I'll be putting in a few dollars.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun little thing for the day. You get to walk away with something that everybody wants that you didn't pay really for. So it's a good deal. It's a fun little thing. I remember the crowd last year. I think we drew it around 2-3 o'clock, and it was like the whole show was still there. So. And I didn't tell you about. There's one more, but it's at a different table. We're getting Cobra Thrones printed, 3D printed. Star Wars Mike's Customs is making those. He'll have them at his booth.
How many of those? You don't know how many?
No idea. I know he's been working on it all year though, so it should be enough. So I don't know if they're painted or not. I haven't seen any final pictures yet, but
okay. So that's all the pictures you had sent me. Now, as far as let's start talking. I have to pull it up, but let's start talking about your lineup of people, because it feels like, honestly, you've been talking about Joefest for a couple of years now, is what it feels like, because you started really like when the show ended or before the. When did you announce this one? It feels like it's been quite a while.
Yeah, let's see. I paid for the venue in full in December. And I think we started making payments in October.
So December of last year or the year before that?
Yeah, last year. I've already got guys that have messaged me and said they want to be vendors for 2020. And says I don't know, what the dates are or whatnot, and they're wanting to send me money already for tables, which is it's insane to me. It's like they're like, oh, I got to get in. I've got a waiting list. I could fill this whole venue 3 times over. It's crazy, the demand, and it's great. It's fun to see. But as Rick said, the GI Joe collector is alive, and the vendors are.
Yeah.
I think what the Joefest has become is just a central place for everybody to meet on the East Coast during the summer.
Right.
We just, with JoeCon going away, there was no place for friends to meet anymore. You got California, and those guys are doing it out there, and their show is going great too. It's building.
Now, we got a question here. This is something I wanted to ask you as well. 46 Zone had asked, did Hasbro issue you a cease and desist letter or give you any kind of rules to go by to using these characters or anything like that?
No. We're trying to be respectful, but trying to stay away from all that type of, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't blame you on that. That's the worst thing to get, is be a week before the show and you get a letter in the mail that says, "Hey, you can't do this."
Yeah.
I didn't go last year to the convention, but I've heard a lot of good things. But as far as attendance goes, like, what should I expect? Like, what's that look like? Any idea?
We had 1,100 show up last year. So
yeah, small room too to boot.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're hoping. We've already sold more online tickets than last year.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's definitely. I'm guessing we could approach 2,000 this year. We'll see.
That's insane. That kind of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh?
That's a lot of folks.
What do we kind of think now with all these shows happening? You and Qualcomm and the 4 Joe guys out in California, and I think there's some other Joe, Joe Lana and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It makes you kind of wonder if Hasbro would put forth the effort to doing their own show again for something Joe related.
Well, I mean, I think that's what we all want, isn't it? I mean,
We want another one, or we want just these regional shows.
I think we want Hasbro to be in the business.
Well, we want them to put toys on the shelf, that's for sure. But kind of think about it when you when you look back at the club and the line of exclusives they gave us. I mean, I talked about this, I forget where it was at just recently. I think it was on Angry Mike, where, you've already spent almost all your con money at the exclusive booth because, you spend $400 on a box set, and you probably spend at least easily almost $1,000 in exclusives.
Yes, just what that guy just said about about Hasbro. We're making so few. We're not,
Right.
and they're customs. They're custom toys, and I don't even think 50 figures would be hurtful at this point to their operation. But again, that's why we went with. We tried to stay away from any insignias. We based it on Tommy. I mean,
Right.
just Tommy.
I think there's room for both, like an official show and these regional shows. I mean, if they do an official show, and whether it's G.I. Joe coupled with Transformers and everything else, I mean, that's only once a year, and I like the idea of having like two choices, and sometimes maybe you do the official, but sometimes you just do the regional show. I definitely think there's a market for both.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I always find my best stuff at the smaller shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess one would have to say, these regional shows didn't really start coming up until after, Joe Con was pretty much going away almost.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're everywhere now, to me.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, in some areas, where these shows are currently being held at,
Mm-hmm.
Fun Pub wouldn't go in there. When was the last time Fun Pub was in Georgia? When was the last time they were in California for a Joe Con?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know Brian real well. I've met him once, but I don't even know how that operation worked. I don't know if Hasbro ran them or if it was Brian that was running them. So I don't know how they came forth with their decisions.
He had a certain one he could ask, and then they would tell him, like for Transformers. The reason a lot of the bot cons were out there was because Hasbro has all their warehouse and stuff out there, their cases, vehicles, and everything. And they didn't want to have to ship those cross country. So that's why they would kind of push some of the events. Like I think it was BotCon 11 that had all the vehicles in there. And the reason it was there was because Hasbro pushed it to be there.
Yeah.
Because according to Brian, he told us once that he wanted to be in a certain region of the United States every 3 years. East Coast, Central, and California. Basically, he wanted to be in Burbank or, that one area, Los Angeles area once, Dallas another, and then somewhere on the East Coast, but he never knew where on the East Coast yet. But that never happened with Hasbro, he said.
Yeah. Yeah. People want it here, people want it there. It's, you can't appease everybody, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, you can't make everyone happy. I can vouch on that one. That's for damn sure. As far as your guests, you have people lined up from cosplayers to voice actors to known authors being there. So I mean, so give us a kind of a rundown of people who are going to be showing up for this show.
Well, we got Dan Klingingsmith. We've got Mark Belemo, James Kavanaugh. There's your authors right there. We have Sergeant Slaughter, Keone Young, Hank Garrett, which was Dial Tone.
Yep.
Larry Hama. Everybody knows who that is. Kirk was again. Ron
Like Santa
Rudat.
Claus.
Yeah. You know what the interesting part is? I mean, I keep going back to the cease and desist with Hasbro. All right.
Okay.
It, all these guys wanted to be part of Joefest. And I think what it was is that they weren't either necessarily accepted so much in the past several years with JoeCon, maybe a few of them, but they weren't mainstays every year. Do you know what I'm saying? Except for Kirk. Kirk was there every year.
Oh yeah, he was always there.
Sergeant Slaughter says that he's never been involved in an event like this.
That's crazy.
I asked him about the rights, and all that stuff, and he said that he's fine with being here. He was never not allowed to go. He just was never invited. So
I think maybe some of it had to do with that. If you're going to have Slaughter, people will be expecting a Slaughter figure, but apparently that's where the problem was.
Mhm.
Was the copyrights because of WWE.
Yep.
With him, I guess is what the main part is. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, I found everything. I just keep going down and down and down. My goodness, there's a lot of people here. Let's see, book authors. You got a SC Joyner.
Yeah,
Mark
that's a local writer here.
and Ryan coming. Comic artists, Richard Rivera, Robert Atkins, Denise Cassis. I think that's right. Chad.
Deese. He's a local.
Local.
I try to support local.
Right.
I mean, because it is Joefest, but a good portion of it's also the Augusta Toy and Comic Show. I thought that if we were to market to both audiences, that the vendors would be rewarded because, of course, they're selling G.I. Joe, but they're also selling a few other things. And Augusta doesn't have a show. So
right.
What better way to increase sales and attendance than to market to both?
Yeah.
Right. Now let's see. Adam Ritchie's, Tom Feister, Brian Shear, Larry Hama, Matthew Aichi. I can't pronounce it. I know the man. I've met him before. I just can't pronounce his name. Let's see. Corey Davis, Truthful Comics. Rock Bottom Studios, Randy Bishop, Amber Jimmy, John L. Gibson, Dan Batt. Wow, the artist list here, just they all artists. Yeah, comic authors. I look at all this and I'm kind of thinking, man, where's there going to be room for people to walk?
I've got anywhere from 8 to 20-foot walkways. So
wow,
that's good.
Yeah, should be plenty of room in my estimation.
Some of us big boys get in that room and we start, picking up boxes and looking at figures, and it gets real cramped and real hot.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we did Friday night too, because I thought Friday night would be kind of more toned down. Saturdays could be where your crowd's going to be.
Yeah.
Friday night for us collectors, you could search through stuff. And cool. And we're open late. I mean, if you're staying the night, why not be open late? And vendors are there. Why not stay open?
How late are you open the Friday preview or whatever?
10 o'clock.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then 10 o'clock.
I was going to say, Rex, you for sure need to make a Friday. And if you had to leave, you can leave Saturday morning.
That's actually, but once I get there, I don't know if you're going to be able to pry me away. Let's be real. You met me. Right?
Oh, I know. Cosplay guests. We got Joe Colton, Revenge City Cosplay, Maggie Madness, Mary Mercenary, the Southern Command, the Girls of the Finest, Star Trek, Darth Cleavage. Okay, explain to me Darth Cleavage.
Darth Cleavage is actually a cosplay prop local business
Okay.
that they actually create for mostly Star Wars props and
Right.
costumes, but they're all handcrafted. They're mostly seen at Dragon Con, but she actually is based here.
Right. So
And
it's
that's her page. Yeah, that's her page, Darth Cleavage. I know it grabs your attention, but
it
hey, it's
does.
great for
You say,
That's
marketing.
a solid name. Solid name.
Yeah.
like, leave it, you're like boobies, boobies.
Yeah, yeah. So
Let's see. Now we get to the media guest. John Anderson, actually a good friend of mine. He's going to be there. Of course, Kurt and Hank. Let's see. Rachel Baker, Migo Corporation.
she is actually, if you look on the back of the, the new Migos that are out now,
Yes.
this, yeah, 12 inches. Um, she actually sews all of the clothing for the figures.
She
Her
must have
name,
a decent or some tiny
she,
hands.
she works like crazy. I mean, each package has her name on there, and she says she sews them. So, and she lives here. So we thought, well, what better guest to come out as somebody that's got hands on, She says that she's going to bring her sewing machine and give some tutorials on how to make clothing for action figures.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Let's
So
see. We Kurt, Hank, Matt. One good thing I thought was pretty interesting, even though we know Sarge is a WWE wrestler, you've also going to have Marty Jannetty
mhm.
and Teddy Long will be there as well.
Teddy Long just got added.
Yes.
He actually, as I was boosting some posts on the Sarge, trying to advertise, and I had a cancellation. I think it was last Saturday night, and with everything going on, I could just downsize the table. I thought. The next morning, I woke up to a message from Teddy, call me, and he says, "I just saw this post on Facebook." He goes, "I didn't even know this was going on." He goes, "This is 2 hours from me." He goes, "Would you take me in?"
Yeah. It's funny. It's like last year for my show, I get a phone call and it was Jerry the King Lawler,
Mm-hmm.
and it like blew my mind.
Yep.
He was like he was already on his way this direction for a wrestling event, which was about 30 minutes away from us. He was like, "I'd like to come in early and set up at your show. Do you have room for me?" And of course, I'm like, "You're Jerry Lawler. You're damn right. I got some room for you."
I was going to say you and Jerry the King Lawler seem like two peas in a pod. You guys would be fast friends based on what I've heard.
Absolutely. And then after we had talked, the next day I get an email from his son, which was a Grandmaster Sexy. Had wanted to know if I had available space available. And he said he was coming with his dad anyways. I said, bring it. I said, well, we'll put you somewhere. And we did. And it worked out really well. Sadly, a few months after that, he passed away.
Oh.
Let's see. Roy,
We've tried desperately for the fridge. He actually lives about 15 minutes from here.
Oh my goodness, really?
Yeah, he does. And my wife is friends with his daughter. The problem is he's not in the greatest of health.
Okay.
So I don't think he makes too many appearances. But never say never, because maybe we'll get his attention this year.
Yeah, I feel like people would love that.
Yeah.
Let's see. As far as media, Hooded Cobra Commander will be there. Full Force Podcast will be there. Battalion 13 Podcast. Joe Declassified will be there as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you have a big, huge, long list of vendors. So if anyone wants to check the vendor list out, there's the Augusta Toy and Comic Show.com. Go underneath your guests and vendors, and you can pretty much go down the list. I mean, there's just so now you have had a few cancellations. It looks like
I did. Jason Bienview just canceled. He said it was his wife's birthday, so he couldn't make it. James Sparks canceled. That's a little bit of the trouble that you run into during the summer. Like James, his daughter's in either volleyball, softball, something like that, and they have a tournament that weekend. So you got family first, of course. So, but I think it was two vendors and Jason that's canceled. So everybody else is hung in there, ready to go.
And then, of course, we can't. I almost forgot to even mention this, but you will on Friday. You will have a customizing class.
Yes, and I did message Mr. Russell yesterday, but I know they got their show coming up here in Dallas. I'm
Yeah,
trying.
I'm right. It's the. I'm going to try to go to that one. I went to it last year
Mhm.
because it might be easier because Rudat's going to be there and I can get his autograph on my missile command set
Mhm.
while I'm there instead of taking it all the way down the East Coast with me. But if I'm right, it is the second Saturday in June, so that's 1, 2, 3 weeks from today is their show, and then the week after that, I'm so screwed come June. The 8th is the one in Dallas. The 15th is Pete's RoboCon. The 22nd is yours, and then the 29th is my show here locally. So,
Yeah, you're going to be toast.
oh yeah, it'll be really toast on weekends, man.
And Mike. I mean, this is a lot of work. This is.
Oh yeah, I mean that's something I can, and I started like you did. I mean, I was in a small location, and I was there for a number of years, and and a number of shows because I used to do like almost kind of like I did like 2, 3 shows a year because it was so small. It was able to do it. Then once I opened it up to cosplayers, then the cosplayers started coming out. We started pushing cosplayers.
Mm.
That started making a big impact. In that last show I did, we were, I mean, we had no room whatsoever
Mm.
walking around. It was so big. And then I looked at a venue right down the road from my house that had just opened up. It's the event center here in our town. And the amount of money I would have paid just for one of the ballrooms
Mhm.
was what I was paying at this little tiny hotel.
Mm.
So it was a no-brainer. And I'll have to let you know what the square footage is. Hold on, maybe it's written down on this piece of paper. Okay. I've gone to where I'm not sure if it says on here. I didn't say. There's a 4 meeting room, or no, 1, 2, 3, 5 meeting rooms. 3 of them are broke off into smaller rooms.
Mhm.
There's big 2 huge ballrooms. I mean, and this is a pretty massive place. I think it was like 30,000 some odd square feet
Okay.
in just the room alone. I think I might be wrong on that number completely, but I've built it to where it's I can get that many in there now.
Yeah.
Where I used to have maybe like 15 dealers when I first started. Now I got like 60 some odd dealers right now.
Yeah. It just grows on its own. It really does.
Right.
Yeah, I jumped in late, but did you guys already talk about Ron Rudat and kind of how that's going to work? And there's a dinner and all those things.
Well, we haven't actually talked a lot about any of the guests or pricing or how they're going to be set up, if there's going to be certain lines, anything like that. We haven't gotten that far. So that is a good question, though, as far as the guests, as far as like your big, really kind of guests, especially Slaughter, especially Rudat. Is there going to be, is it going to be like roped off, or are they going to be in a single table and people can just make a line and stand there, or is how they're going to work all out?
I put Larry Hama, Ron Rudat, those guys in an artist's room with Robert Atkins, Kickley. All those guys wanted to be together.
I guess they're all in one of the other rooms you were talking about.
Yeah. It's probably about third of the size of the main ballroom. So we figured we could divert, the artistic group that way and have more of a personable experience. The back wall's got all the guys like Sergeant Slaughter, Janetti, Sierra Foster, ones like that are on the back wall. The only guess that's going to be a little bit offset is Hank Garrett. He's going to be in the main entrance with 80s Toys from Princeton. They're sponsoring him and bringing them to us. So they helped with the cost of that. So we're putting him up front there, but it's going to be right in the main entrance. You won't be able to miss him at all. So everybody is centralized. Yeah. It's, like the Slaughter figures, they're going to be over there by Slaughter. So,
Perfect sense.
yeah. Trying to make it easy. The biggest things now is we haven't even announced it yet. So we just signed the VSS crew to come out. So finding the space is the issue at this point. But he says he's going to produce 50 sets of this VSS before the show. So I don't know if it's going to be blueprints and you make it yourself, or if he's going to have some prefabricated ones already. But he's going to be next to Dio Warriors, which are going to be making stuff and bring it to the show, not like they did at JoeCon, where it was just displayed. They're actually going to have stuff for sale this time. So, and then of course you got Mr. Bobby Valla, who's got his own,
Bobby,
6-inch line, and he says he's going to be bringing the prototypes. So, I honestly think that's going to be a big hit. It goes against our 3 3/4, goes against the 12-inch guys, but this generation 6-inch, as much as we don't like it.
Yep.
Gotta get with the times, man. Everyone's all about the Marvel Legends.
Yeah. And Black Series and everything in between.
Yep.
And plus, Bobby's got street cred like no other. The guy knows how to make action figures. So
yeah. People don't realize that he has a lot of stuff.
And based on everything that we've heard from him and seen on his social, his worth ethic is up there with the best of them.
Well, and also Sergeant Slaughter. I mean, my goodness, that man works tirelessly. If your guys are on Twitter, he runs his own Twitter. I mean, that's him.
I was wondering. I heard that he did, and I was curious if that was true.
I asked the agent, and he said, "Yeah, he works around the clock. He promotes like crazy."
That's awesome.
So,
he is. He's very good on social media. He stays on top of that. I thought was very interesting.
He definitely connects with as many people as he can. Where some people are a little more hands off, he seems like he connects with as many people as he possibly can.
He's actually coming to town a day early, and he's going to, on a Friday morning, he's going to be on the local news channels doing live talk shows. And we're still signing up. We want to do radio, and there could be the night before on the sports talk that night. So he's coming to town to promote it. And I mean, my goodness, the guy works. I can't say nothing negative. I think he's been a godsend for us,
Yeah, that's awesome.
So.
And no prices, no prices have been set as far as what they're going to charge for autographs or selfies.
The one that we do know, Sarge is doing a $50 combo, autograph, picture, and picture with him. It's a little bit more if you buy it,
individually.
Yeah, so he's going to do a combo price on that. He charges all different stuff for certain autographs. I guess there was a JoeCon figure several years ago of him, and he charges pretty good amount of money to sign that one figure. I don't know.
Two of them. It was the Triple T, USA one.
Mm-hmm.
That might be that one, but I can't recall JoeCon ever doing
I know SDCC one There's two of those.
Yeah, that's why I was just saying those are those two.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I might be wrong. Okay.
Those are the ones I'm aware of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they fetch a nice $1 too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's the only one I think he upcharges on. So
smart man. Well, if you
Yeah.
talk to him again, ask him what he charges for pops and WWE title belts.
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure I heard he has a no pop autograph stance.
Shut your mouth.
When I talked to him, they said like 30 to 40, I believe it was, for like certain individual things you bring.
Hmm.
Then they said they had the 50 combo.
Yeah,
Um,
that's only two things I was bringing was my belt and my Sergeant Pop. So
okay.
you can hush, Rick, on Pop.
Yeah, I know Aaron at Roma Collectibles ordered a couple of cases of the pops.
He did. I remember
Yeah.
he posted that picture about that.
Yeah, right away. As soon as I announced it, he was on it.
It's a thing to do. I mean,
Yeah, no, it is absolutely. It's well needed too, because perfect opportunity.
or exactly. The Ron Root at dinner, which is Saturday night. Talk about that. Tell us what all that is going to entail. We know it's a limited number of seating. So give us the 411, all that.
That is his 50th wedding anniversary day. When I first contacted him, he goes, I have to see with my wife. And I right away I told him no way. No, just forget it. Maybe 2020. And then out of the blue, I don't know, several months ago, I was at work and a message pop up. Hey Ed, my wife really wants me to come because we need to be part of this. And she wants me to be happy and she wants to be there.
And it makes you wonder, 50th wedding anniversary, how the hell did he talk her into it?
I've talked to her, and I almost want to tell you it might have been her talking him into it. Be honest. She loves it. She really seems to love it. She has an admiration of the fans that actually have feelings for these guys. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That makes sense.
I think that's part of the Joefest lore right now is JoeCon, they had their few guests each year. But there's a certain part of it that was missing. The last year he still said to me, he goes, they didn't invite me. So the last one, I mean, these guys made what it is.
Yeah, and I've met Kirk, and I've met a few folks at the JoeCon, but Ron Rudat is the one that I'm most excited about because I've never gotten a chance to meet him or even just talk for a brief minute.
Yeah.
And as far as I go, for me, Joe is more. I know a lot of people that I talk to nowadays, it's more about the figures, but for me, it's about the vehicles first. And I love what they did with their vehicles, the size of the vehicles. Everything in the 80s was bigger than life, but G.I. Joe as a product really sold that 80s bigger than life vehicle. I mean,
yeah.
I have a lot of love and nostalgia for all that stuff. So the fact that, this guy's behind almost all of it. And the Cobra logo as well.
What I'm excited, I mean, he says he's going to be bringing his artwork, some of it for sale. I just want to see it in person. I mean,
yeah, no doubt.
I tried to make the show as unique but also mainstream as we could. You kind of wanted to have a little bit of everything, but
that's a really good opportunity, though.
Yeah. I like I said, I mean, even if we're keeping the dream alive until Hasbro does another one, I mean, we want to support them. I mean, I even thought about reaching out to them and seeing if we could tag team on going forward, but let's see.
On the Rudat dinner, can you clarify a couple things on that for us? I mean,
well, again, it's 100 guests. We have spots for. We sold some tickets. They're part of the VIP packages. Sergeant Slaughter's going to be there. Larry's going to be there. We're not sure on Keone right now. We're trying to twist his leg on that one. But Kirk will be there. It's not a roast. It's more of a celebration, and we want to definitely celebrate the 50th wedding anniversary, but we want to celebrate them also. We have some gifts that are being made to give to them.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Sergeant Slaughter said he wants to be a speaker. John Anderson's going to be an MC with 3D Joe's and Joe Colton. We want to make it an experience, something that was unique to this year, something you can go home with and have a memory.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And of course, there's going to be a Ron Rudat figure there, which we haven't announced.
You kind of just did.
Yeah, kind of.
So we haven't announced it. You just said it.
To me, it's the most spectacular one, but we wanted to make it memorable for him. So, but there's only 25 of those.
Oh man.
Yeah, that
See how
one.
many arm drops are going to happen on that one?
Yeah, that one's. I don't know how I'm going to set that up. I don't know if it's going to be. You have to have your ticket and buy it at the show, or buy it at the dinner. I haven't gotten that far yet, but
Raffle at the dinner. Give me a chance.
It's not a bad idea either. It's not a bad idea.
Let's see. 46 Zone said that both the modern era Sergeant Slaughter figures were San Diego. So that's what I thought. I just now saw that post. Benny, no, I didn't change my number. I'm just avoiding you like the plague is all. Benny says I texted you the other day. He says I didn't get a reply back. got my stalker over here on me. No, I got your message. I think he had watched the Angry Mike show. And he was like, "Dude, you were so brutal. What the f?" Is what it was. So yeah, no, I got your message. I remember reading it. I think I still have it. I don't know, dude. I just ask Rick. He'll tell you I'm horrible about messaging people. So any other surprises you plan on having? Are there going to be more surprises? I mean, how much? I mean, because let's be honest, I honestly think you have made so many announcements in Fun Pub's 25 years than they did.
I'm gonna go under a rock after this and take a break. I can tell you that much. So, I'm tired. My eyes are tired. Look, I don't know how people who program computers and all that deal with it. It's rough, but I know the finest are building a watchtower to Southern Command for the cosplayers. They want to.
It's awesome.
They want to have some photo ops. I tried getting a tank, but I couldn't secure a tank. But don't underestimate me yet. So
you talking about a real tank?
Yes, I want a tank for the cosplayers.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Some of the guys in the community, I feel like if you told them you wanted one, they could have a triple T ready.
All right.
I don't know. I'm thinking about some of those guys.
On Friday night, we're doing a trading after the show closes at 10 o'clock. And the hotel's fine with doing open room sales. So we figured that's going to go on all night. But 10 o'clock, presented by Toylanta, they're going to do a toy swap meet. Bring your toys, anything, comics, whatever. Buy, sell, trade out in the main lobby.
I remember seeing that. Yeah, I think I'm at the point of, I'm like, just point me in the direction of the bar.
The bar will be right next to where the convention space is. So right next to where the toys are. So you'll be all right.
Yeah, we will be partying like it's 1999, Rick.
And then on Saturday night, Kickley, after the dinner back at the hotel, he wants to do like some gaming. He wants to actually have vintage action figures where you bring a figure, an O-ring figure, you throw it in a pile, and we have screwdrivers there, and whoever can assemble and unassemble and assemble them back, it's going to be like an elimination tournament. And as you eliminate each other, you get down to the final one. Whoever wins keeps all the figures.
I like that.
Are you taking shots during the disassembly?
Oh my God, that'd be hilarious.
That's what we kind of want to do too. So we want.
Oh my goodness.
we thought that would be a little bit fun. Is the room sale's still going on, the dinner was over, still have some
Rick,
fun.
could you see it? All these people lined up from the get-go, one shot, and then the next. Then hold on. Then the next group that makes it, they take a shot. Then the next group, then they take. You just keep going until the other person is like, all over the toys, and then you know what? They're all yours.
Yeah, you keep them.
Go ahead, keep them.
I struggle with some of those figures, especially the hard ones. If there's a Zartan in there, anything that like is a little bit different, I'd struggle if I'm not drinking. So I can't even imagine. I don't want to be near an X-Acto knife or anything. I got
I'll probably cut their fingers off.
He's
thinking about the color changing figures, especially.
Yeah, for sure. You'd have to heat them up, really, but. He's excited to come. He's never been to a Joe type of thing. And as you know, in the A-Rod group, he's pretty big, Kickley. He interacts there. He does live videos. And he's more excited to meet everybody that he interacts with online. So I think that's pretty cool. I do, so. Just got a lot going on. I hope to soak it all in, but I think it's going to go too quickly, to be honest with you.
Usually that's how the shows are. Once they get there and they're over with, you're like, really? It's already over with?
Oh, we got a Terradrome Mountain being built, right?
No, we didn't know that either.
I should have sent you a picture of that one. Scorch Earth is actually, he's made a base for it that, I think it's like 4 or 5 foot tall, and it's all like concrete looking styrofoam. And on top, we're going to put a Terradrome.
Oh my God.
That's cool.
That's going to be the main entrance. So
that's very neat. As far as your social media, you're on all the platforms. You're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Yes.
And it's all underneath Augusta, or is it? There's 2 of them. I get confused every time I look it up.
Well, I do Augusta because it's it promotes it locally. I keep all the Joe stuff on the Joefest page. Okay. So yeah, there's 2 of each. I don't want the local people to think that it's only just Joes don't come to the show, because there's vendors there that do sell Star Wars and Transformers, and,
right.
And they'll still come and buy Joe. So it's still fun, the cosplay contest, and we're gonna have a quick sketch competition that gets judged by like the professionals like Robert Atkins and Brian Shearer.
Gotcha.
We've got a custom toy contest. We also got by a special mission force. He's coming down from Boston. He's going to judge the photography contest. You bring a print of your picture of your Joe in action or whatever you want it to be, and that's going to be submitted and for prizes. And we've made trophies, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd for each competition. And they're little F-16s on a base. And it says Joefest winner.
Man, how I keep hearing all this stuff, and I'm feeling it's all on a Saturday. It's like I just don't think. Wow, like damn it, man. When? I just keep hearing and hearing and hearing more and more and more. And I keep thinking to myself, Jesus Christ, when's it going to stop, man? Good Lord, you've lost your mind.
It should have been 2 days. Me starting.
You did. You went Friday night.
Yeah, I should have went Sunday, but Sunday, even I remember the last JoeCon, even Sunday was desolate in there.
Well, this last JoeCon, it was pretty rocking still on Sunday, but in years past, it's always been really kind of slow.
Yeah, I guess, maybe like 1, 2 o'clock, it just starts dying down, and when it dies down, it really drops. So I was hesitant to do that. I thought more people would be coming in Friday, flying in and whatnot. Why not stay open later?
Right.
Yeah, I think that was a smart decision. I love that idea.
Yeah, I just
think honestly, it's easier to kind of get into town and out of town if most people are leaving early Sunday. But I love the idea of being more to do like later on Friday.
Yeah.
So let me get this right. Friday nights till 10 o'clock. Is that for anybody, or is that just strictly for people who have pre-registered?
No, for anybody. We do sell individual tickets for Friday night. The combo price is now $25 for Friday and Saturday with early admission Sunday, or I mean Saturday. So you get in 2 hours early on Saturday, and she's gonna try to let us set up early on Friday, depending on if she doesn't book the place, which we'll see if she doesn't.
You know what? And this is something I'll say is that would be stupid on their part to book it.
Yeah.
If you're already using it Friday night, because the event center where I'm at, they don't even book anything Friday during Friday period because they know we're coming in Friday night to set up.
Well, we've got the custom class in one of the rooms, so that's already down,
Right.
We had to rent 125 tables from a local guy who only had 75, and he's renting from other companies. Plus the hotel had 60, so plus we got vendors bringing their own tables, so we're probably 200 plus tables at this point. It's like, wow, last year was, I think, 30 tables. So,
oh wow,
you know what I mean? It's just, how did it get that big that quick? But
right,
I think when Slaughter jumped in, it took off.
Yeah, I think it did too. As far as Fun Publication goes, has any of those people reached out to you about the show at all? Asked you about it, or say they're coming or anything?
No, and if they wanted to come, they get in free. I mean, they're hard work for years. I'd never charge them. I know what they're going through, what they went through now. It's like, even at that, I mean, even the Toyz aside, just coordinating everything and panels, and we didn't even discuss the panels. Kirk has something special for us.
Yeah, talk about the panels. Go ahead, man. We can talk some more about that.
Yeah, Kirk, because John Anderson wanted to do a panel with Kirk. He wanted like a sit-down question and answer thing. And Kirk said, okay. He goes, but I'm doing my own panel. And it was like,
how do you tell him, no, you can't?
Yeah, I was like, because, didn't have it scheduled. But of course, I want that, And he goes, it's something that's I've never talked about at JoeCon. He goes, I've been working on it since we've agreed on everything. He goes, I need an hour. So I think that the place is going to be top heavy wherever the panel room is at that point. But
that's what you tell him. You know what? Say that for 2020. 2020, baby.
Oh, I didn't tell you about the belly dancers.
Holy shit! It's going to be G.I. Joe strip.
Got burlesque.
Yeah, no, there's a local lady here. My wife is friends with, and she does cosplay belly dancing. And we did it right when we're doing lunch for the vendors and guests and all that stuff. It's the hour after the lunch, so we thought, well, if you slow coming back from lunch, and catch a show a little bit, sit down and take a load off, and then the panels kick in with Robert Atkins and all. So
I just pictured Mike not being at his table for like.
Yeah, we're gonna have to watch Mike.
Right? Yeah, damn right.
I thought it was a little bit different, and at first I was hesitant, but I thought, something. I bet you Larry would like it. What do you think?
I think a lot of people will like it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do.
Those would be the ones where all the guys who brought their wives get that stink eye.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, we want to go to this panel with belly dancers. No, we're not going there. We can go home now.
They do it up in the next town up here in Aiken. They have a little con up there, and it goes over really well. It's really attended well.
Belly dancing con.
It's cosplay. Yeah. Cosplay belly dancing is what she says it is. So, wow. And it's family friendly, so it's not, no kids will be harmed.
No, but my manhood might be.
He's got everything but the kitchen sink for real.
I'm telling you, it's just for you might as well just take your ass down to Home Depot and get one.
We plan on setting up on Friday during the custom class during the day. We're going to put our ticket table out, and we can the VIPs and the people that bought the passes, you can come get your tickets and whatnot, so you can get in quicker Friday night.
One question I wanted to, I think I can't remember if I asked it here or if I asked it somewhere. But I think I asked it somewhere else and you answered it. But as far as the exclusives go, those will be a Saturday only, right? Not Friday night?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
We think we might do a few on Friday, maybe a couple, or maybe the one vehicle or something like that. But
I like that idea.
You let me know when and where. And I'll,
We
be
got
holding- and I'll tie Rick up.
That gives
And I'll
us a
tie
chance.
Rick up somewhere and I'll be
That gives us a chance, Mike. If we
us big boys will get a chance. We can walk
2 days are better than one for
we
sure.
got to do something on Friday. I figure we got to reward the Friday people somehow. So
Well, I think
that's a
Friday
good
is
one.
it's kind of good for the Friday night group. But you said, especially your hardcore collectors, if it's not as busy on Friday versus Saturday, they have time to go through and sit. Because you got to remember, there were some joke cons I went to. People would be at Scott Neal's booth forever, digging.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah, we're happy to have him for the first time.
Is Scott Neal coming? I don't think he is.
Who?
Okay, so he is coming. Okay.
Yeah, Chris Neal?
Is it Scott? Chris Neal, yeah.
Yeah,
He
he's
is
coming.
coming?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
cool.
Yeah, we've got vendors from
So I guess
all
that means
over
if
the place.
he's set. So it makes you wonder if he is set up for Friday night. If Chris is set up for Friday night, will he run his discount all day Saturday now? Because it's the last day of the show.
You know what?
I doubt.
It's a bad joke.
I can tell you
I know.
as far as ticket sales have gone, we've actually sold more 2-day tickets than we've sold single day. But single day will probably be a walk-up sale, is what I'm thinking.
Right.
But I think Friday will be. I think the hardcore collectors that's where you're going to get your stuff first. And
well, they'd be smart to come Friday night. The first one's there instead of waiting till everything's probably picked over.
yeah.
So,
And then
I
you
can
got
see
a early
that.
Saturday. We're opening up 2 hours early. I talked to Keone Young on the phone. He goes, when are you open on Saturday? I said 8 to 5. He goes, 8 to 5? He goes, most cons are 10 to 5. I says, yeah, but we only got one day. I said, it gives you 2 more hours to make money. He goes, let's do it. So he's all excited. Now we do have the VIP celebrity meet and greet Saturday morning till about 9:30, I believe it is, 8 to 9:30.
okay.
It's just to come in there and mingle with the celebrities. Of course, the autographs are at their discretion, but I imagine most of them will want to do them at their tables. But
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then Kirk, I'm going to have to schedule him at the exclusives table for like an hour to do some autographs. But he didn't want a table. He wanted to mingle with the crowd, which I thought was really cool.
Oh, that is awesome to know that.
Yeah, he's going to be all around promoting. And so I'm really excited to meet Kirk also. I've never met him.
Nobody promotes like Kurt.
Yeah.
Man.
He was right on board right away, and I thank him for it. He's been great. You got to have those guys with you. I mean, those guys are,
Yep.
Well, so I think we've talked a lot. I was going to, it's something I want to try to start doing. I got to start writing stuff down that I want to do because I always forget because we don't do it on Cybercast no more. Or Galactic Gumbo, which I guess that show has been canceled and Josh hasn't told us.
We've lumped in parts to Cybercast. Kind of taking
I'd rather have Galactic Gumbo. But anyways, and we used to do like our haul, but now we're only allowed to do a figure of the week. So Rick, I'll bring it back to live. What did you get this week?
Oh my God!
Start telling us. We got time.
I got a few things. Well, I got that Mastermind Creations Springer.
Yeah, I saw pictures of that.
That's what I've been messing with the last 2 days. But before that, I ended up going down a rabbit hole of some Japanese Power Ranger stuff from SPD. There it was Deca Ranger. It's a longer name, but
I saw that one. Well,
I don't think I got any Hot Toys. I got Professor X finally from the Marvel Legends line. Got Professor X this week, and I got the Vintage Collection Target Han Solo figure, and I did get the they're doing that retro line that I'm not interested in because it's like almost reproductions of the original Star Wars figures that I grew up with. But the one thing I like about it is they're doing, in this first wave, they did a Tarkin, which was never made. When I was a kid, there was no Tarkin figure. So they made Tarkin, and that's the one part of what Hasbro is doing with that I'm interested in. Like, if I can get a figure and expand a line that I thought I was done with in 1983, then I'm down with that. I love that. I would do the same for G.I. Joe. Like, if somehow they, wrangled that back up, and if it was O-ring, I love modern stuff too. Love the 6-inch, but I still love a vintage O-ring.
Well, the vintage collection, I picked those up also, but I've been reading online in the groups. It says that they don't hold the weapons.
The vintage ones.
Yeah,
there. I guess there could be some that don't, but I've got about 20 behind me. A lot of troopers and stuff. They definitely hold their weapons. I've got a lot of Death Troopers and Scarabs. Anything from Rogue One, I've got a lot of.
No, I mean the new ones that had the 6 and one had Darth Vader.
Oh yeah, you talk about the retro collection. Yeah, I didn't get any of them except for Tarkin.
Oh wow, no, I found the whole collection at the Target when I got the Han Solo that morning.
Yeah,
but the card backs are real thin. They reminded me of the Fun School stuff.
They're definitely all curved. The ones that I saw, even my Tarkin's he's not perfect, but yeah, I could tell they were curling.
Yeah, they were, and they're real flimsy.
A lot of the toy packaging now, and this is across the board, it's not the stuff that we grew up with for sure.
No, you ought to be glad that we're still getting it, at least, I guess. But
yeah,
it's never going to be what it was, obviously. But
right, yeah.
Are you a big Star Wars guy?
To tell you the truth, it's easier to tell you what I'm not into. I have a room upstairs that's Transformers and G.I. Joe.
Okay.
And then I've got this room, and this you can't see the Masters of the Universe, but I have a pretty big Masters of the Universe collection. But a lot of Hot Toys, Star Wars and Marvel Hot Toys. And I have a lot of vintage Star Wars. I don't have any of it on display, but yeah, I'm a huge Star Wars guy, as I'm wearing Rise of Skywalker shirt right now, anticipating this final Abrams movie. But yeah, I love Star Wars, and I grew up on the 3 3/4, just like everybody else, and still love it.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I know my thing was kind of flickering a little bit. I didn't know if you heard me.
Rick,
did you not reach out and get one of those custom figures from Southern Cal show?
Mm-mm.
You didn't? They had
I don't even know if I saw. I may have saw images of it, but I don't think I didn't get any exclusives.
No, did you not? Okay. I knew they had 3 left or whatever.
Yes.
And with all the work you do you even get a chance to buy anything?
Buy anything?
Yeah, get you new toys.
Yeah, I sure hope so. I mean, I plan on running.
No, this week. Did you get anything this week?
Oh, myself? Yeah. I got the vintage collection, like you said, the Han Solo. I've just started getting into the 6-inch line. I found the Archive Boba Fett.
Oh yeah, it's a great figure.
Oh man, I love that thing. I went to we have a local.
For less than $20 or around $20, it's a pretty good deal. I feel like it's a pretty good deal. The size and the paint and articulation is not bad for $20.
Yep. And then our local shop up here in Columbia, they just moved. I helped them move from one shop to another, and he had a little bit of stuff up there, and I picked up a Kylo Ren for $5, a Black Series 6-inch.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, I'm more of a bargain hunter type of. I won't pay top dollar for something if it's cheap, I'd rather get 10 things cheap instead of the $50 price. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm like a kid. I just want to open more.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, no, I shop continuously, and I hate to say that's why I molded the show this way. I kind of wanted certain vendors to be there so I could buy from.
Yeah,
I don't blame you. As
been
hard
there,
as you
done
work,
that.
yeah, man, there needs to be a perk in there for you somewhere. I mean,
Roma, Chris Neal, and Matt Collins, and man, I mean, I'm gonna go broke. I might walk away from this whole thing in debt, not a penny in the pocket.
All right, I understand that.
So,
All right. Well, I guess Fred was not going to make it tonight. So I think that's pretty much everything we wanted to cover. If your people are still wanting to get the anything from the Collectors Club, they're up to 30% off right now. Surprisingly, they still have the final 12 up there.
do they really?
Yeah, me and another guy, and me and two other guys are going to split a final 12 at 40% if it's still up there. We're going to, because once you split it, it puts it at like $25 a figure.
What's the total cost of that?
Right now it was like 368.20, I think is what it was last I looked.
Yeah.
So that's at 30% right now. So I wanted to go at 40%. And once you divide it out, I mean, it was like, man, it's like, dude, it'd be so cool. Because even if you buy them in 2-packs, the 2-packs, buying them individually 2-packed, they're more money than they are buying all 12.
Gotcha. How low you think they're gonna go before they sell those out?
I think 50% might get them.
yeah.
50%. I know the 2 3-packs are still listed on there together as a set. That puts them at like $17 a piece.
Wow.
The blue Troopers and the black Night Stalker sets.
Yeah.
They're like, it was like $17.05 or $17.50 a person or per figure.
Let me ask you, Mike, because you guys will notice. Let's go 5 years down the road. Once these figures sell out, once the fun pub stuff's gone, are those figures going up in value, or are they going to start coming back to approachable, affordable?
The final 12 or just all their stuff in
All
general?
of them. Yeah, all their stuff,
I think it's going to go skyrocket because Transformers, even though Transformers is still huge in any market, the final stuff the club did is skyrocketed. The final figure subscription that they ever did, it was, I think it was like the Thunder Mayhem set, which was a Combiner Wars set. Each figure was a different limb. Each one of those goes for around, I mean, some people can fetch up to almost $200 a figure.
Wow.
I mean, there was
stuff has done really well.
There was a
not all of it, but a lot of it has.
There was one on eBay. I almost bid on it, but I didn't at the last minute. But the opening bid for the whole entire Thunder Mayhem, missing the Matrix, he was opening bid was 500, or buy it now for 750. But the only problem was that what he was showing in the pictures, he was missing one of the combiner hands and one of the actual weapons that go with the figure. And I questioned him on it. He said it was all there, just not pictured. Well, you don't list it that way, so I can't drop that kind of money and not get everything for the combiner mode.
Yeah.
So that's just too much. So Transformers goes up quite a bit. G.I. Joe, certain stuff does go for a good amount of money.
Certain ones do.
Take, for example, 2012, 2011 Joe-Con sets.
Yeah.
I've been piecing out part of my collection on those. And I sold, I made, on the 2011, I just had Steel Cobra left, but the other 3 or 4 figures I had to sell, I mean, the cheapest one went for Well, one of the troopers I sold to a buddy for 50. Mayframe went for 90. Televiper that came in the box went for 125. And the Televiper parachute figure went for 175.
What I've noticed though is collectors in particular are cashing out now.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering what the demand is going to be and the prices are going to be once all these major collectors decide I'm not buying no more.
They might regret it. I know.
Yeah, I know they'll regret it, but what's it going to do to the pricing? I mean, especially as we get older and don't have that disposable income.
I think it will just, people won't get what they want for it and they'll just sit there. Take, for example, BotCon 2016. It's pre-Beast Wars. The Megatron in that one, supposedly there was only 4 to 450 ever produced. One guy sold one on eBay, still in the bag, and it went for like $5,000.
Yes.
When was this sale, Mike? When are you talking about?
That was like within the last couple months, 2-3 months ago.
I'm sitting on 3 of them.
What?
I'll give you $50 right now.
I'm sitting on some of that 2016 stuff.
Wow. No. 2006. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah. No, I had 2 of those, but I sold all the old stuff. Like I thought at the height of, I sold 4 box sets, made $5,000. I felt pretty good.
Wow.
Now the Megatron from 2016, it's fluctuating all over the place on eBay. People are asking, one guy's asking 700, another guy's asking 300, 500. You know what? I got a second one just a couple months ago from Pete Sinclair, which was the final production sample they got from China that has the stamp on the head for $200.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I took one with G.I. Joe and Transformers are 2 separate animals, I mean.
But I think because of the fun pub situation, the collector's club, any of the collector club stuff is going to go pretty high, I think.
Yeah, the numbers are much lower for sure. I mean, always are going to. And the other thing is the paint is usually premium, so it's not just another figure, with both lines. They've done some really good stuff. There's certain things I just don't see them coming down. Like the 2012 set, I don't see that coming down. It's really, I mean, it's expensive, but it's a quick way to get all those characters. And a lot of those characters were featured, in the comics heavily and some in the cartoon. And I mean,
now you got movies.
Yeah. I mean, some of those things I think are going to hold their value, but I think overall some of it will come down. But there's going to be some sets that are going to hold their value. And again, low numbers, premium paint, all those things have to do with it. The other thing I think you can't not think about, and this is for me too, is nostalgia of the moments from that convention. Like, you take whether it's you or your family, you take them to these conventions, and usually it's a once a year thing. And now that they're all over, I don't know about you guys, but like the shelves that I have for BotCon and JoeCon stuff, they're some of my favorite things in my collection. I look fondly on both the experience and the souvenirs I brought from that experience.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, Mike had to ask before you got on, Rick, and he asked, why we doing it. I think that's what it is you can get the toys anywhere for the most part. I mean, a few exclusives we're doing is not production quality. You know what I'm saying? I mean, It's not going to be in force, it's not going to be 400, it's not going to be 500. Can't afford that. But it's more of going there, buying the toys with your friends and making the memories.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. I think JoeCon and BotCon's left that void for all of us.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to call the show there. Ed, I appreciate you coming on, and I hope everything goes well for the show. And we all look forward to hearing about the next 2020 show and all that once you're ready to get on that horse.
Yeah, once I'm out from under my rock 2 weeks after it.
Yeah. 2 weeks, 2 months, something like that.
Well, I took 2 weeks off after the show. We're going to Orlando. I'm just gonna,
did you really?
Awesome.
Yeah. I figured there's no way I could go back to work right after that. There's just no way.
I understand. So,
Mhm.
Rick, thanks for jumping on. I appreciate it. And we'll be back in 2 weeks with God knows who and talking about God knows what. But we'll be back in 2 weeks and we'll holler at y'all then. Appreciate it.
All right. Take care, guys.